Hello, and welcome to this week's update. It's the 30th of January, and wow, what an amazing job, what an amazing life that I have. I get to travel around the country. This week I'm down here in Cape Town. I'm in my favorite spot in South Africa. I've got Camps Bay Beach behind me with the Apostles, and really it is just the most magnificent place. I've traveled a lot of places in the world, but for me Cape Town is just the number one spot. Nothing can beat it. But what did I learn this week? What were the key things that I achieved in this week? Luckily this week I was a lot more productive than I was last week. I got my mind right. I very much focused on power and courage, and I managed to get the momentum going in the right direction. What did we do? We ran a couple of webinars. As you will probably be aware, I ran my first webinar on Tuesday night where I actually had 2 computers. I don't know why it took me so long to think of it, but it's like actually flying an airplane. It means you've got the one computer and you can run all the dials on the other computer. So obvious. It's one of those things in life you think to yourself, so bloody obvious, why didn't I think of it earlier? But if you ever run a webinar, I highly recommend using 2 computers. I'm very much into wanting to build up our sales team. It's one of our income streams, our Australian properties. So this week I started a whole campaign in LinkedIn and Facebook and sent it out asking people that we're looking for. There's a specific niche that we're going after. My belief is that professional housewives, ladies that are looking after children but that have dealt in the corporate environment, have dealt with high net worth individuals, we can provide them with a part-time opportunity where they can earn great income, deal with high net worth people, build up respect and rapport and have the drive and initiative, but also look after their children. So it's the best of both worlds. And we put that out this week and we've had a very good response, and we're putting them through all the systems now in terms of doing the profile testing, etc., to get the right people, because I've got our first training academy on the 9th and 10th of February. The next thing I did this week was I worked on all the compensation schedules. You can't hire people unless you can show them what they can earn, what their potential is over the next 3 months, over the next 12 months, over the next 24 months. And I really think, this in essence comes back to systems and training. About a year and a half ago, if you'd asked me, I would have said that systems, just hold you back. It's just red tape, and really it just annoyed me basically. Training, my attitude with training was, you get the right people, drop them in the deep end, and they'll look after themselves, because that's what I've always done in my life. But it didn't work, and from last year I had a huge wake-up call in terms of knowledge and understanding in business. And really, as Hannes talks about with the different levels in business, you can't go from a level 3 to a level 4 to a level 5 without having the systems, without having the training, without having the people. And I've now come to the belief and the mindset that with the right systems and the right training, you can actually free yourself, because you can build a business that can run itself without you having to be involved in the day-to-day operations. And that was such a different mindset, and I'm determined this year to get it going. And that's where this advertising, the training, the sales staff, last week I spoke to you about the Take It virtual software. It's all part of a plan so that I can replicate what we're doing, what's working. And really it comes back to the Kaizen principle, and it also comes back to the accelerator, because we know that something's working now, and now it's time to turn up the heat, time to turn up the momentum. I also had a bit of bad news. I was hoping to close that deal with 80 odd units for the UBMS, the Business Mastery, and I spoke to the guys this week. It was concerning me. It's taken nearly 2 months to hear back from them, and they said, no, look, it's getting a bit too expensive, etc. But in life and as an entrepreneur, you never give up. So I'm still in Cape Town next week, and I'm going to go and see them. I'm going to understand what their concerns are. I know that they want it from a solution perspective, and I'm a big believer that where there's a will, there's a way, and I'm looking to find a solution. But at the end of the day, it was disappointing. From an Australian perspective, I had a client that wanted to buy 4 properties. I was super pumped, super juiced. I thought, geez, what a good way to start the year. And I went to see him on Wednesday, all prepared, ready to actually close the deals with him. And he said, no, he now wants to fly to Australia, and that's been delayed until May. So again, one has to, it's not all positive news, and it really is about keeping the mind focused and not letting these little setbacks hold me back. The other thing we've done this week is we've had our first events for 2011. I've been down in Durban this week. We had 2 events, one on auctions, one on offshore. For Durban, we had good numbers there. Again, we charged, so the nice thing is it didn't quite cover its costs, but the nice thing is that it's a way to communicate with people, it's a way to add value to people. We had very positive feedback, and the nice thing for us is that we're not shelling out a lot of money to make it happen. So we're building rapport with people, and we did it this week in Durban, and next week I'm down here in Cape Town. That's why I've flown down for the weekend for the presentations next week here in Cape Town. And then lastly, a bit of good news. After talking to Hannes at Christmas time, he said to me, if you have any average properties that aren't fulfilling your needs or not cash flow positive, then you need to start to sell them. I've always had a belief that, I didn't really want to sell them because I'm not sure I'll get myself another mortgage, but I decided to go for it anyway. And I'm very chuffed to say that yesterday I got a cash offer on one of my properties in Cape Town. I've had it for more than 5 years. It's never been cash flow positive. And look, it's a nice property. There's nothing wrong with it, but it just doesn't suit my investment criteria. And the nice thing is it frees up for me about 250,000 Rand. And with that money, I'm really going to be able to start to invest it and get far better growth, particularly with what's happening in the market now on the auction side, but also if there are other business opportunities that I need. So effectively, it's just freeing up some capital so that I can take advantage and have the capacity, and if nothing else, it also gives me a bit of peace of mind to have that sort of money in the bank. Should we go through a couple of lean months. Hannes brought out that thing on money and where the world finances are going. It's one of those times that to be a bit prudent and to have a bit of money in the bank, might not necessarily be a bad thing. So ladies and gentlemen, that's it. 30th of January, week 3, and it's been quite a slow start to the year. First couple of weeks we're planning, second week I really got myself into a bit of jumble and didn't get the productivity, but this week I feel we got the momentum going. I loved getting in front of people, I loved having the events, and I feel like we're starting to get going now. So I look forward to the report next week, and now it's time in my mind to really start getting 2011 going and to start hitting those power goals that I'm looking to achieve. Hopefully you're doing the same. Are you getting the momentum? If not, let me know how I can help. Hopefully I'm inspiring you, but most of all, if you are enjoying it, keep following me and let other people know about what they can do, because it'll inspire them, it'll teach them lessons, and between all of us, collectively, we can achieve a lot more. You know that they say that 25 birds flying in a flock can fly 70% further than one bird flying on its own. Let's use nature's laws and work together. Thanks very much. Have a great week. I'm off to spend time in my favorite spot in South Africa on Camps Bay. Cheers.